G'day and welcome, my name's Cautious Pancake, and today, based on this comment from John Smith, I want to take the Infinite Stairs base from last video and push the boundaries a little to see if we can take on a day 7000 Horde with all of the blocks as wood only. The plan is to try it as a full AFK only base, then if we can get that to work, add some traps to clean up the Horde at the end of the night. And finally, hopefully, I'll take a shot at a full combat version of the base on day 7000, still with just wood blocks and traps. So let's get chopping! Actually, I'm not going to do much chopping. To speed things up, I'm going to use the block replacement tool. For those that might not have used it, the basics are, when you have it equipped, you can hit the Z key to select the first corner of the space that you want to work within. Then, move over to the other side and click the Z key again to expand it, which is the opposite diagonal corner. This didn't quite get everything, so hold Ctrl-Shift-G and left click on the axis that you want to expand and use the mouse to drag the space bigger or smaller as required. Once the blue space covers the area we want to work within, we need to left click on the block that we want to copy. Then, because we want to replace all blocks within the space selected, hold R to bring up the radial menu and select the Replace All Blocks option. Then right click on an example of the cube that you want to replace, in this case a cobblestone cube block, and all of the cobblestone cube blocks within our blue selection are converted over to the wood block that we originally selected. We can then repeat that process with the other block types until our base is fully converted over to wood. We might have some trouble with stability here and there, but we'll see how we go. Yeah, there we go. The up and down walkway doesn't quite have the stability we needed, so give me a sec and we'll rebuild that. As you can see, I've rebuilt that now. We've added an extra pillar for support. We might even add an extra one off that end that corresponds to the run into the main tower in the middle. As you can see, that's working now. We've got our wood only base. Just before we get into running a Horde night, there was one more modification I wanted to make. During some of the testing, even though these are only half blocks and zombies should be able to make it up fine, some of the zombies were every now and then getting caught. So what we're going to do is replace these with the wedge tip stairs, and when it's a slightly bigger gap, we're going to use the wedge stairs. There we go, just like that. We've got a perfectly smooth little stairs up that none of the zombies should get caught on. Okay, here we go. Day 7000. Let's have a go with our wood only AFK run of the Infinite Stairs base. Just so you know, we're set on insane difficulty. We've got our character at level 300 and a game stage of 720, so we should be getting pretty much a whole bunch of ferals, rads, demos, cops, you name it. It's going to be full on. Probably the biggest risk that we're going to have to deal with is the demos. From memory, they're able to one-shot a wood block, so if they decide to get a little bit angry and take a swing, then we're going to lose a block somewhere. And worst case, we're going to lose it in the up and down bridge that they fall through. And if that happens, then it's game over. Jumping ahead to 10:30. See, we're all fully loaded now, and the zombies are making their way around nicely. Still going well 15 minutes later. I love the shadows that they cast based on the blood moon. We're an hour in now, and as you can see, still going strong. One of the demos is a little confused, but otherwise it's all good. You can see the zombies stacking up a little bit as they fall down the up and down block section though. Coming up on midnight now, 2 hours in. You can see we've lost a few blocks here and there. Some mostly at the beginning there where they fall down. There's some blocks been removed, as well as one in that middle pillar. So it's kind of good that we added that as a second pillar, and we can afford to lose a block here and there. You can see they're still sort of stacking up as they fall down. Gee, that's a big group of them now. Lots of zombies stacked up, but so far they're getting through okay. I heard another block go there, someone down on the inside middle. That's okay though. Yeah, it's when they fall down and land on each other's heads. It's causing us some problems. Ah, there we go. Mr. Demo decided to break our up and down block, and that will end this run. So first attempt at an AFK wood only is a fail. Alright, to try and combat that, we've given a double run of the up and down blocks. We've added some reinforcement to our pillars. We've added second redundant pillars. So now there should be two options if the zombies take out one of those ramps in, as the dog horde seems to run through. Ignore that. We've got 2 lots of the up and down block run path, which means that we can afford to lose one of them, so hopefully we will be able to use that to get through the horde now. We also have some SMG turrets on the middle of the upper tower, which is one little enhancement that I added. Those are pointing up pretty much towards the sky so that it'll only pick up vultures that run in. Those SMG turrets run all night, just so we don't have to deal with any vultures. Generally, you don't have a lot of them on a day 7000 horde, but every now and then you'll get one, and we are in the desert. Oh, and what was that? The first lap around by that demo, and it's taken out a block. 20 minutes into Horde Night. So we're already down to the redundant failover up and down path. I don't hold a lot of hopes for this run as a result, but let's see how we go. It's a bit of a different path now. They have to go a little bit further out to the side. Maybe that'll create enough space and spread the zombies out enough that they won't pile up. Because it's generally when they pile up on top of each other that they're able to reach those blocks at the top and take a swing, and that's when we tend to lose our pathing. We might speed this up for a little bit and jump forward to, hopefully, the end of Horde Night. Let's see. We've made it to midnight. That's pretty much where things went pear-shaped for us last time. Let's see, what about this time? Oh, you're kidding me. You're kidding me! Firstly, I couldn't have timed that comment any worse. And secondly, how did he even hit that? Let's have a look at where he was standing when he knocked out that block. Alright, here we are again. We've kept the redundant pathways of dual setups and all the reinforcements on the pillars, but this time we've added this little modification to the last part of the ramp. The idea being is that they drop down into that first trench and then have to jump up and down over these subsequent little ramp blocks, and that should hopefully spread the zombies out a little bit, which means that when they then fall down the up and down pathway, they're not standing on each other's shoulders and hitting them and destroying them, and then we go into the failures that we've seen. So, fingers crossed that that little rooftop looking slope thing, well, I don't know what to call it, but that's hopefully going to spread out the zombies just enough to slow them down, and this is going to be our successful AFK run. We have to beat 20 minutes from the last run to not lose our first block, so we'll see how that goes, especially as this first demo runs around. That was what went bad for us last time. So here he goes, falls down, jumps up the first cube block, jumps up on the ramp, takes a bit of a stagger, that's okay, does it again, and falls on somebody else's head, but doesn't take a swing, keeps going. Happy days. Got a group here, falling off to the side as well, that's going to help. Again, if they fall off to the side, that means they're not going to be falling off through the pathing. Less chance of zombies taking a swing and destroying. And that spider just fell off the other side, so it's spreading them out, it's slowing them down, that's good. The risk, of course, is that when they all slow down on the new slowdown section, the rampy blocks, then they may get a little bit angry about being grouped up and slowed down there, and that might result in them taking a swing and destroying that section. So we'll see how we go. If they destroy those blocks, then we're going to be back to what we were before, and we know that doesn't quite work. Lasts for about 2 hours before we typically see it fail. So let's see how that goes. So far so good. There's still a little bit of bashing on the wood blocks in that corner there. They really don't like that corner, but there's enough redundancy there that even if they took out a bunch of blocks, it's all going to be okay. are running around. We're obviously staying out of sight, otherwise they'd be spitting at us, and with wood blocks that's not going to go well. Anyway, let's just speed this up a little bit and see. We'll check back in a couple of hours or so. See if we can make it past midnight. Well, we've just made it past midnight, and this is where I typically say that everything's going to go fine, and that's when we lose a block. So I'm not going to say it this time. We're going to just see what happens. As you can see down here, we've lost a couple of blocks in there. As I've been saying, that's their favourite spot to smash on. Those and the pillars that are in the way of the walkway, so that's kind of not surprising, but so far so good though. Everybody's doing their nice little laps. Except for, you know, that rad that decided to go the wrong way for a short period. I don't know what was going on there. Anyway, since that's going well, we might jump forward again and see how things are looking a little bit later on. Coming up on 1:30 now, and you can see that the blocks that they've destroyed are big enough for them to actually stand in it now and continue to break more blocks like that rad was doing. Otherwise, things are continuing on pretty well. Okay, we've just got past 3 AM, so with 1 hour to go, we're looking okay. They've taken out one of those ramp blocks. It's still got a jump, but not quite as good as before. Sorry, they've also taken out the cube block in front of it, which is why it's still pathing okay. They've also taken out a chunk down there, and it looks like they're even starting to tunnel underneath the pathway. They've taken out enough blocks underneath there. You see that hoodie just disappeared and ran through the other side. And out up to the staircase, back up to the ramp. Soldier boy's going to town on the middle pillar. But on the plus side, we haven't lost any of the up and down blocks. The slowdown of the zombies has meant that they're always falling one at a time. Maybe one or two at a time. And that's meant that the blocks have held up well so far. And yes, we've definitely got a hole underneath here that the zombies are making use of. Alright, 5 minutes to go. Fingers crossed. I think we're going to make it from here unless this demo smashes out one block and somebody else takes out another one right behind it. But so far, I think we can say that the wood AFK version of the Infinite Stairs base is now viable with that extra little slowdown section and the double path. Although if you were feeling confident you could go with a single path, but maybe the double just for redundancy. So since we've got no defences, what we're going to do is just leg it on the mini bike. We're going to head as far away as we can quickly to hopefully force that chunk to unload. If we got far enough away, I don't think there's many, maybe 1 or 2 zombies following us. We'll just go down here till we run into some nitrate. We might swing around again in a sec. And see who's chasing us. It's a separate zombie. There we go, 2 rads. See if we can get back into the base before them. And then we might do is just have a look at how much damage they did to the base. That's one. Still can't shoot. There we go. And the other one's gotten lost. Oh, there he is. And he can wait. Let's get on with it. Alright, let's grab well, I've done a little bit of damage here, but that's mostly cosmetic, but we did lose a block. Grab our hammer though. Other than the one block that disappeared, there's just a little bit of hits here and there. These pillars haven't taken any significant damage, so our main walkway path doesn't look in any danger of falling down. This area obviously took a huge battering. This is where all the zombies fall down, so that's where they're going to take the most damage, and want to do the most damage, because they're taking that little bit of fall damage, as well as messing with the pathing and the stumble that they take at the bottom. The stairs up look okay. A bit more damage here, as we've been saying. That's where they fall. Almost got through that block as well. But looks like, well, a few hits on that one. So definitely do want that double redundant up and down block path, just in case they do take out that block. These are okay. We lost a part of our pillar here. Maybe need that reinforcement up just a little bit higher. I only did the 2 blocks. We could have gone to 3 by the looks. Over here, they've decided to attack that one rather than the middle pillar, which is interesting. Although they took off the reinforcement blocks, so they probably had a fair go at both. So if the thinking there is we probably need some reinforcement on both of those blocks, although it has held up pretty well. The stairs themselves, as you can see, have taken hardly any damage, and that was much the same in the last video as well with cobblestone. Oh, there's a bit of damage in that corner down there. We might come back and have a look at that later, but not sure what would have caused that. And here they've taken out 2 of the blocks, but otherwise left it mostly untouched, and thankfully that didn't change the functionality too much. They still have to jump up and down, and that slows them down and spreads them out. There's not much damage along the wall here, a little bit here and there, but this corner for some reason took a beating. Not quite sure what that was, and didn't actually notice that during the Horde night, so yeah, interesting. Overall though, AFK base with wood only has held up well. Now that we've got a working version of the AFK Infinite Stairs base with wood only, what we might want to do is look at how to end the Horde night a little bit better than just running away on a mini bike. So what I've done here is add in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 SMG turrets. Those will sit down there, and what they will actually do is absolutely nothing during the Horde night, and that's because we've got them hooked up to an electronic timer relay that starts at 4 AM and finishes at 5 AM. So the goal being is that they sit there and do nothing all night, but at the end of Horde night, when the zombies aren't going to respawn, they will kick in and hopefully mow them all down. We're going to run the similar Horde night to before, day 7000, 64 zombies and insane difficulty. But I'm not going to make you sit here and watch all of it because that'll be a bit boring. So what we might do is fast forward a little bit and jump through to the end of Horde night, assuming that assuming that they don't take out the up-down pathway. Then we'll see what happens at 4 AM. Okay, 5 minutes to go, and it's looking pretty good. We haven't lost any of the significant pathway blocks. Lost a few other blocks, of course, as expected, but we should be good to go. Watch your ears. As you can see, they make quick work of a few zombies. Absolutely going to town on everything. We get a little bit of XP since we've got some points into advanced engineering. Those demos are going to take some real work to get through. They're probably going to be some of the last zombies to get killed. As you can see, they just continue to loop anyway. And the SMG turrets will just take them down as quickly as they can. Hopefully they get it all done before 5 o'clock when the turrets turn off again. I don't know how that doggo is still going. Still going. Ah, there he goes. And that's it. Now, last video we had, there we go, screamers. Obviously those SMG turrets are pretty loud. We've got 2 coming in so far. What's going to be interesting, and hopefully, is that they make their way around to the entrance of the base, like all the other zombies, jump up and get shot. We've got an extra zombie over there, so that's 3 on their way. Possibly 4 in the background there now. We've lost one of them, that's probably on the other side of the base. Got 2 here, one of them seems to have forgotten where we are. Yep, there's the other one. She's going to town on the base wall itself. one in the background there. So yeah, 4 screamers that we need to take care of. We just need one of them to get up there. Pop your head up. There we go. Gotcha. That should have got the attention of the remainder. So number 2 should come up now. Oop, don't know where they were shooting. Sometimes they can see. Oh, that got that one. There's number 2. Sometimes the SMG turrets can see just over the wall. Or if the zombies are far enough out from the wall, it will shoot at them. So we've just got screamers 3 and 4 to go. Question is, will they make it before the 5 AM cutoff? Number 3. And number 4. There we go. Worked like a charm with 3 minutes to spare. So that's one way to finish Horde Night, is to have your SMG turrets programmed to come on at 4 AM. That cleans off the base. You can sit there finishing off your crafting, planning your day's activities, getting ready to go to see a trader, whatever, and just wander down when the business is done. One thing I forgot to mention, or check, was how much ammo was used. So if we have a look at this first SMG turret, that's gone through about half a stack, so 148 on that one. This one, 149. And they probably some of the heaviest ones, with most of the zombies coming through there. About the same there. 100 there. Bit over 100. So somewhere between 100 and 150. Oh, it's only gone about 70. 80. 90. 45. 50. So generally somewhere between the 50 to 150 rounds across the 11 turrets. So you're looking at roughly 1,000 rounds, give or take, probably a little bit higher, finishing up a 64 zombie, insane difficulty zombies. Less obviously if you have less zombies, but otherwise it's fairly cheap on the ammo. Alright, I think it's time to go full combat with this bad boy. So what we need to do now is head upstairs and see what modifications we've made. That's the side view of what we've done. We'll get to exactly what that is in a minute, but you can see we've also added in some blade traps. These are designed to kick in again at the end of Horde Night and thin things out. We can't run them all Horde Night, or they'll be done and dusted well before the end of the night. So just a little bit of an extra boost to the 4 AM period. The main combat section is started by this pathway up, which the zombies will run up. They will then come down through the middle of this section here, which is mainly controlled through this pole, which the zombies will come down, hit the fences, get zapped, bunch up, because there's a lot of them coming through at once. Some will slide off to the side and fall down, the others we're going to shoot. If they make it all the way to the front, we've got a sledge turret here to send them flying off the end, and we can also control the path with this door. If we open it up like that, the zombies will no longer see it as a path. Over to the side here, we've got this little pathway here, which is actually made up of my Arch 3M tip, which is my favorite block for the zombie force field, so the zombies don't actually see that as a pathway they can walk on. Over here, we've got some sheets blocking up the former entrance, so that there's no line of sight for the cops to spit at us, and down here we've got the usual pathway, so the zombies will keep looping. If we come back down through here, there's one thing I've forgotten to show you, and that's what the blade traps are connected to. Similar to the SMG turrets, attached to an electric timer relay just in here. This one is set for 4 AM to 4:30. We only want 30 minutes of blade traps just to minimize the amount of damage they'll take. The SMG turret timer is unchanged, 4 AM to 5 AM. We've added an extra generator bank up the top to power the electric fences and lights. And that's pretty much it. Alright, let's get cracking. Still on level 300, game stage 720, insane difficulty, 64 zombies. But this is the full combat version. We've got 750 rounds of the high power ammo and 1500 rounds of standard 7.62. We've got our power for our turrets, and we've got power, as you can see, we've got a big vulture that was cruising around. We've got power for our electric fences and lights over the tunnel, and we've got power to our blade traps, which again will only kick in at the end of the night. Just grab some food to make sure that we don't have any problems with hunger or hydration during the night. Get ready to pop some recog as well, but we'll wait until we've got some zombies coming down the pathway towards us. Always fun just sitting here listening to all the zombies screaming outside. Make you kind of nervous a little bit, especially in a wood base. I'm not sure if it's going to hold up. Oh, he got sent. That sledge turret absolutely hammered that doggo. Alright, here we go. Got the assault rifle still in just sort of burst mode, so we're going to try and use our ammo somewhat sparingly. We also don't just want to spray in case a demo comes around the corner and we accidentally hit the chest plate. Chest explosive or whatever you want to call it. Grab some coffee, make sure we don't have any stamina issues. Oh, here comes our first cop. So the idea with the cops is, you know, let them fry a little bit if I can, because I don't want to do that. Is he going to blow up? No, I think we got away with that one. We don't want to knock them down like that, because if we don't kill them, they're going to blow up an awful lot of wood. So we want them to sort of electrocute for a while, and then we need to get as many rounds. There we go, we got that one. As many rounds into them as quickly as possible, so that they don't blow up and destroy our base. I am very, very nervous about demos and cops in a wood-only Horde base. Otherwise, that pillar and the electric fences are working a treat, since the extra zombies coming in behind are sort of forcing themselves and bunching up with the other zombies and then sliding off to the sides, which means they tend to fall down below. With the length of the path back, it does mean that a lot of the rads that fall down are going to be back at full health by the time they get back to us. But that's just something we're going to have to deal with, I think. Or accept, really, with this design. Why is that green? We don't want cop spit. Cop spit's also going to be bad for us. It's not going to destroy blocks in one shot, but it's going to do a lot of damage. I did have a demo there for a second, but I think he's fallen down. There goes the dogs. It's the best thing about the sledge turret there, is the dogs that we don't see will tend to make it through up to the gate and then just get sent back down. So we're now in, doing pretty well. Let's have a quick gander outside. Everything looks alright. Working like we expect. Let's jump back inside. Whoop, cops. Take him out. There we go. As you can see, not getting a huge amount of experience due to the difficulty level and how careful we need to be with our shots. It's the reason I'm not using armor piercing rounds, is because I don't want to take out the blocks behind the zombies. Again, the way that it's designed, it's probably not going to matter, but oh, I don't know if I got him. Is that an explosion? Yeah, that was an explosion. Oh, that was another explosion. So that's two cops that just blew up down there. Thankfully, their path is still standing. Not exactly ideal. Make sure we don't run out of recog. Oh, there we go. So that's cop spit. You can see it's damaged a bunch of blocks. Gotcha. We might just give that a bit of a repair. Might as well in the lull. Just got to time it. Yep, and that demo fell off again. I think because they're a bit bigger, they're a little bit easier to fall down, or they find it easier to fall down, harder to stay up there. Whoop, see you, doggo. ammo when you're trying to be careful like this. It just makes the headshots, obviously with the recog as well, just makes the heads go pop. Not quite sure, or maybe that was the green glow earlier, but I wasn't sure. Possibly even from the outside, one of the cops took a spit. And that's why we've got some damage down there in the hallway. Unless it was one of the cops blowing up, but that's too high up, they all fell down, so not entirely sure, but I think that's what that is. Just went past midnight, so that's a good little milestone. I should stop trying to shoot the dogs. They get too close and get through. Although I'm not sure why they're not getting zapped, unless we've lost some fences, or I miscalculated and don't have enough power. Either of these is possible. Oh, cops and demos together, that's always a fun time. Demo's fallen down again. Cop's about to fall, so let's see if we can take him out quickly. I don't know if we got him. You can see we tend to get waves of zombies as we do a little bit of repair. I think that's mostly because they get held up by a cop or a slow-moving zombie at the front and group up behind them. So we take a bunch of shots, take out a wave, and then you get a bit of a break before the next one because of them coming through in sort of single file, bunched up, as they tend to do. It would be kind of cool if the Fun Pimps added in zombie pathing AI that would allow them to run around the outside of each other so that faster moving zombies can overtake the slower ones. I have no idea how hard that is to achieve, but that would be kind of cool in my opinion. Just waiting. Oh, we waited too long and got it to the face. Oh, now we've got a demo lying down on top of the other zombies. He's crowd surfing. Oh, now he's lying down underneath. Don't shoot the chest. Get rid of these guys. Come on. Oh, come on, game. Just noticed that we've got some infection, so we'll just take that honey, do a bit of repair. Also be funny if that demo has actually lost his legs and is down below trying to crawl all the way back. That'll take forever. Oh, definitely got some damage here. Ah, there's another cop coming. The only thing I can hope with the explosions is that they explode in the same spot each time and it doesn't create more damage to the blocks that are otherwise surviving and holding up that section of the base. Keep doing our little bits of repairs. I think with a wood-only base, you should be allowed to do a little bit of repair, given how fragile everything is. Demos. Hey, we got one. I think most of the time the demos just fall down every lap, so we haven't actually been killing very many of them, if any of them. Hopefully over time though, they'll keep coming back and we'll get enough shots in that we can take them out. Now I'm deliberately not going too far forward because then the cops can see us either side of the hallway and that'll just attract more spit, which we don't want. So whilst it's very tempting to stick your nose out and have a look and see where the zombies are coming from, unfortunately we can't really do that. Got to wait for them to come to us. No, he's fallen down again. Oh, is that the crawling one? He's dead now either way. As you can see, spider zombies are no problem. Dogs are no problem with this design. Always good to take them into account when you're building your horde base. Make sure that they're handled. Another demo at the back there. And again, more zombies and demos. We are also approaching 2 AM. So 3/4, 2/3, something through the horde night. We've still got our high power ammo going strong, so that's good. Yeah, love it when the heads pop, especially on the demos. Oh, and we need to repair. Now I'm not going to try and melee, I'm just going to wait. There we go, it's not too bad with the fences, you get a bit of a break. Our recog's still going okay. Stamina's not really a problem. Taking a bit of damage from that cop spit, but otherwise we should be alright. At some point I might remember to whack a bandage on. Oh, Doggo's jumped up into the line of fire. Oh. Oh, shooting around it. Oh, that chewed through some ammo. Top up the recog. So we're not going to make it all the way through with the high power ammo. Probably another half hour left before we run out, which will leave us an hour to go to the end of Horde. And then we get the fun time with the SMG turrets and the blade traps to do the cleanup. And not too much damage. A little bit in front of us, that's alright. Oh, he's gone. Oh, he might go boom. No, maybe we got him. Yeah, pretty much our last magazine of high power. Oh no, 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 no! Oh! Gee, that was close. That was game over if he went boom. There's no way that whole tunnel would have been taken out. The path was gone. The walls would have been gone. Oh! Well, don't do that. If you're running a wood-only base, would be my recommendation. Try not to shoot the demos in the chest. And now we've got 2 of them. Well, they both fell down, that's alright. You can always just let them make their way through the fences until they get to the sledge turret and get knocked down. Alright, switching over to the normal ammo since we don't want to run out in the middle of a intense period. Oh, it still does enough damage. Yep. So you don't need the high power. You can get by just fine without. Just makes it a bit easier. And since there's more of it, and it's generally cheaper to make, you can have a bit more fun with it too. Bit of a quiet period. Maybe we will just heal up while we're waiting. So satisfying. Alright, 30 minutes to go until we can take a bit of a break. Now traps should go absolutely bananas. Double demos again. There goes one of them. Don't know where the other one's gone. Oh, I think that's the first actual zombie to get sledged. Thankfully our electric fences are still holding up. I did wonder whether or not they'd take too much damage, but I think there's enough of them that it's all good. A couple of minutes. We should just listen out for the fun. Oh, the lag! The lag is real! Now obviously we've still got a few zombies that are going to make their way through, just a little group, but I will try and get outside and have a look at what's going on as soon as we've taken care of this little wave. It's so laggy. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, I can't even make it on the ladder. Up we go. And what can we see? Yeah, there you go. Blade traps going nuts, SMG traps going nuts, turrets going nuts. Zombies are still making it through. It's so tough. Let's come back down here, no one's here. Can't see any out here. Actually, what we should do is open that door, that's what it's for. So no more zombies want to part up this way, they'll just keep running around. They're still going around. Oh, he's dead. Now, do we get... Oh. Where's that coming from? Over by the start. Making their way back around. They've obviously fallen off somewhere. The turrets are off. Sorry, the blade traps are off. Turrets are still going for another 30 minutes. That's just to minimise the damage that the blade traps take, so that there's less repairs to do. There's one screamer. Screamer is down. Let's see how many we get this time. It feels like that was less noisy, so we might not get as many screamers. Or maybe I'm just wishful thinking, I don't know. Can't see any. No, I think we're good. We're done. Alright, let's have a quick look at how much damage we took and where we took it. Obviously we know we took some damage in there because I've been repairing it. I don't actually know what happened to those sheets that were, in theory, blocking the line of sight of the cops. Don't know what that was. I think that, yeah, more screamers. There's two more screamers coming around the outside. So yeah, even though we'd put sheets up there to stop the line of sight, to stop the cop spit coming in sideways, they're gone and it didn't matter. Certainly got a lot of damage through here. Again, I don't really know what caused that one. I think it was a cop spit. Don't think it was an explosion at any point. Over here, those just block the line of sight of the cops so they don't spit at us. Nothing going on there, no damage. A little bit at the entrance here. Let's go see where all the cops blew up. Oh, there is a dog left. But there's certainly a big hole here where the base used to be. So that's what the cops did. They've taken out all of those support pillars except for the one at the front. and those bigger pillars at the back. So I'm really glad we added all those extra supports. Otherwise that would have come down, I think, if we'd only stuck with a middle row or something like that. Interestingly, that section has taken very little damage. I'm guessing that's because we took out all of the zombies and they weren't falling down through the path. They were falling down off our combat area instead. They have taken out a little bit. Nothing there. No. Again, that's because they're not looping around constantly. Most of them were getting shot and partially damaged, falling down and then running around from there. So it preserves the base even better. Just the combat section gets absolutely trashed, but as we saw, that held up okay as well. Turrets have used up much the same amount of ammo. That one may be a bit more this time. The blade traps have all taken a bit of damage. There you go, that's taken a bit more. Random spot of damage there. A few hundred on each of the blade traps, which will cost a forged iron or two to fix. Nothing too bad. And again, it makes the cleanup at the end of the night just a bit faster and a bit easier. Well, there you have it, a successful day 7000 Horde with a Horde base made entirely of wood. Please consider giving this video a like if you've enjoyed it, as it helps to keep the channel going, and if you're not already subscribed, please consider that too. Thanks as always for watching, and to John Smith and everyone else who comments on my videos, I really appreciate your thoughts, so please keep them coming.